this is our 11th episode, so we've been doing this for 11 weeks now, and I just barely found out these stupid mics. They tilt. I never thought about it. Here I am holding it all prim and proper, having to sit up right. When it's like I could have had it relaxed, and because when I do the editing, I'm like, man, it keeps sounding so quiet because my hands
you keep moving the mic.
My hands get lazy.
Yeah, you're not used to holding it in this position, so you're just like
like directly up. Whereas like you can hold it like you're holding an actual microphone, which is really nice. But
that's true.
I feel like an idiot. Well, what's up, guys? Welcome to Juicebox Talk. Mattman SLC, Juicebox Tony. As promised, we're recording it.
Yeah, this is the first episode.
A little upset because I had to get dressed, but that's...
Yeah, we had to wear pants this time, so...
That's whatever.
So let us know what you guys think about the video. This is the first one, so we don't actually know what it looks like until the very end or Monday when this comes out. So this is just more behind the scenes type of access.
You guys can see how I sit week to week.
With the $2 Patreon, he will sit with his legs open.
No underwear.
No nothing.
All right, so let's get this ball rolling. So one thing that really sucks is there's like no sports on, especially because we're just coming off of All-Star break and everything. So I have nothing really to watch. And like, I mean, the All-Star game and all that, yeah, but okay, there's not basketball, there's like baseball spring training's about to kick up in NASCAR.
Yep.
So I always hate All-Star break because it's just boring for sports. It's like, why do I even have cable?
Nothing.
I mean, I have my dribble shows like Siesta Key and Jersey Shore, but that's not worth the price of cable. But everyone keeps telling me to watch the XFL. I still have yet to watch a game of the XFL. I think it would help if like we had a Utah team like
we did last season.
No, that was a different league.
I know, but
that league collapsed.
That collapsed. It was still kind of like XFL/arena football, but I think all of those players that failed at that just transferred and then moved to the XFL.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened because they didn't get all their money. Like, I mean, every player only made $100,000. $100,000's a lot of money, but
if that, because they were saying they were having a hard time paying their players.
Yeah, they couldn't so they were supposed to get $100,000 for the season, but they didn't have any money to pay them. So, I mean, I haven't watched the XFL. I feel like it's just like you could watch the G League for basketball because the NBA has the G League now. Well, now they call it the G League instead of the D League.
I like the D League. Know who you are. Know who you are.
That's my. You got a D, get better. That's my. So I don't mind that they call it the G League, but you could watch that, but you would rather watch the NBA. So where it's like not to be like hurt anyone's feelings, but if you were good enough to be in the NFL, guess where you'd be?
That's true.
So like, if anything, the NFL should have looked into starting something like the XFL to have more football year round, not wear and tear your players that you have, and then like I just don't see it working. They tried it before and it failed. Like, I love football too. Part of the reason that it's nice is you have it for 18 weeks including the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's like you have 18 weeks of football, and then you go the rest of the time without it.
Mm-hmm.
And then then you miss it enough that when it comes back, everyone watches it. Whereas like, I know like supply and demand, but there's no way that many people are watching it, and they also don't really have anybody in the XFL.
Yeah, there's no one in the XFL. There's no really promotions for it. Quick little flashback. The XFL started in like 2000 from the guy that started wrestling. I don't know.
Vince McMahon.
There you go. He wanted to really like sexualize it with the cheerleaders, not the actual
not
people.
The bed. They're just gonna play in their jock straps.
Oh God, that image isn't leaving. But what they wanted to change some of the core rules of it. They wanted it to be a little bit faster moving, that kind of stuff with everything. So quick rules with it. The XFL has 25 seconds instead of the 40-second like countdown. And then their point system is different too. They have 1, 2, and 3 points after you make a field or after you get a touchdown, and then it can only be scored from offensive plays at the 2, 5, and 10 yard line. That's how you get your points. So instead of just like an automatic freebie with the point after with NFL. And then with overtime, each team gets a single play to try to get a touchdown, and then it just like vice versa. So it's like football, but without the commercial breaks and the lag time in it. Because that is a big thing that kind of sucks about football, is like the coach says a play, they hit each other for like 30 seconds, and then they cut to commercial break. Or the team's gonna win, and they're just like, okay, you know what, there's 2 minutes left, we're just gonna play it out. Even though they can win if you mess this up. We're just gonna completely give it up. And there is 8 teams on it, so it is really small.
Yeah, it's their first season.
Yeah, it's their first season, so a lot of teams are playing each other a lot. I actually haven't watched a full game because I don't have cable, but ESPN, like the day after, they have a quick recap of everything. Like, they'll show all the games. You can probably watch them on the one episode because they're so short, but it's 5-10 minutes max, and it shows like what happens during the game.
Okay.
So, I still don't know their names. I go for the green team because I see them playing a lot. I think it's
because I like money.
I think the green team is Florida, but like I said, they've done no marketing with it.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
besides like me actually Googling this and like trying to see, but it's just, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine like how much money that must cost? Is to pay everybody, to get everything set up, to use whatever stadium, to like you have to find advertisers.
Yeah, you have to rent a stadium.
And it's like I can't imagine that they are
everything's
pulling
said
in
and done.
because why it collapsed last time was because people had the same thought of like, okay, well, there's no stars here, but you can't get stars because they require a lot more money.
Well, they tried to get Kaepernick last year at the other arena football.
Yeah, whatever that one was
like,
even called.
Like, we'll give you the max, and I forgot what it was. It wasn't even close to $1 million, but Kaepernick is like, no, I won't do it for like less than $20 million. He's like, dude, that's like our whole budget for this whole thing.
But then, like at the same time, like he's not hurting for the money. He just got that settlement from the NFL, and it was he'd
just be like kneeling the whole time. That's all you'd be doing during the game.
Yeah, well, it's like, and he would be the best quarterback there. Like, he's the starting quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. Can you imagine how good he'd be in any other league? Like, even Johnny Manziel was good in the CFL. The CFL's garbage. CFL's even weirder. They only do 3 downs. Like, Canada can't get anything right.
Yeah,
sorry,
just
Canada.
Like, sorry, dudes. Stick to what you know.
Snow and elk.
I was going to say.
And I guess universal health care.
But, yeah, since we're talking about the XFL, the NFL actually has some new changes they're trying to push into effect. If it does, it won't go into like the 2021 or 2022. I don't remember the exact dates for it.
I think it would go into next season because their CBA needs to be but then again, I'm not sure if their CBA is good for next season or
because they were talking about it, but I hopped on the bandwagon pretty late, so I didn't see that. But they want a 17-game season with 3 preseason games, and then they want like another team in the wild card, and they're just like debating the pros and cons. The owners of the teams want it because it's more money, and it's more money, and then the NFL players are against it because it's like football is very tiring, it's very taxing on the body, and your injuries can go up, especially playing more games, and shit, I forgot what I was saying.
I think that it should just be, you should do it because more money, but they should do it, but increase the hard cap. Because right now it's like 48% of what the owner, so it's split 52-48 owners. So what they should do is do 50-50. Because you guys are your partners, whether you like it or not, however you want to view it, you're partners. Yeah. Now, how are you going to complain if 50% of it, so if a team has a 52-man roster, I believe it is, or whatever it is, then how are you going to complain if that 50% of your team gets split between 52 people and yours is split between you and whoever you want to hire? How are you going to complain about that?
Yeah, it's like not.
Hate to tell you, you're still going to make $500 million even with all your coaching staff. Like even if you own like the Browns, you're still making
Yeah.
making $100 million a season. So
Yeah, so it is cool. I mean, I see both sides of it. I mean, I'm all aboard the money train, but at the same time, it's like I said, people break legs, tear their ACL all the time, and that's like either career ending or like season ending.
yeah,
And half the time, it's like, oh, you tore your ACL, you're supposed to be awesome. We're gonna drop you.
yeah, I can see both of that. So what they should do is like, we'll do it, but you have to pay us more, even if it's more like move it from 48% to 50%. So
Yeah.
increase the hard cap, and then
Or even if they just like, I hate to say load manage, but don't let everyone, all the stars players or all the star people play the same time like every game. You have a 52-man team, let the backup quarterback throw like the whole game.
problem is all the backups are not very good.
I know, but at the same time, it's just like when I played, I didn't do quarterback because my arm just sucks dick. But throwing a football that far all the time, I mean, you would just like your body would just fall apart. Not just for getting tackled, just like that repetitive motion, your body would just.
Yeah, yeah. There's.
But
I'm hoping there's not like a lockout or anything over it because
God, I hope not.
I don't want to lock out.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
No, I don't want to walk out. I don't know. It'd be cool because you get more football.
I do like the getting rid of a week of preseason.
Yeah.
Preseason's a joke. It's nice to
I don't
see like
understand why they
real,
haven't. Yeah.
real situations with your people that you might sign undrafted and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
no,
But
it is.
nobody watches preseason.
No, it was the only time I watched preseason fully was HBO did a documentary like the preseason of the Raiders.
Yeah, they do Hard Knocks every season.
Yeah, I was born a Bronco, so I'm gonna have to die a Bronco.
I mean,
The good
I
and
wanted
bad.
to watch it because that's when AB was on the team,
But-
causing all that drama.
Yeah, he was only on for like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But they did the preseason with them, and it was a really cool documentary, just like seeing the team develop and like the stuff that happens.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
That-
start doing it
yeah.
every season with random teams.
Yeah,
Which
so,
I'm
I
a
mean-
fan. Like that's interesting. But yeah, like
YouTube
watching
did too,
preseason.
because YouTube did it with the Browns, I think, because they were so psyched because they got Odell and all these other people, and then it turns out Odell was just like blowing smoke out of his ass.
Well, it's all Baker. It's all Baker Mayfield. So that's its own topic. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that. I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know what's happening with us.
Oh, yeah, two lost trains of thought. We were talking about football. Baker Mayfield sucks dick. He's not worth a stash. Do you hate him? Do you think he's bad because you have a stash and he's not representing the stash up to your stash standards? Stashster.
He's
I
a good
can't say.
he's a good quarterback. He's just
He's okay.
he
He kind of sucks under pressure.
the head coach isn't the greatest. The head coach should have stayed the offensive coordinator and his quarterback coach because that's when he was doing really well.
Yeah.
So that switch there didn't do any
Yeah,
good.
I'm not
but
for like, well, you've been with the team the longest, and we feel like if you're not a good fit for a head coach, you're just not a good fit. I'm sorry.
it's So but they're gonna have a new head coach.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do this year. But yeah, all that doesn't matter if they can't get that CBA
Yeah.
agreed upon. But yeah, I mean, like I want them to make more money because it's like the NBA has a soft cap to where if you go
Yeah.
over, you just pay luxury tax.
Yeah.
And that's why so many NBA teams are so great. But I feel like the thing there is like maybe resting your players, playing your backups more, and just giving the players
Yeah.
more money because it's like we'll have you play more, but why am I? So in other words, you're gonna pay me the same. You'll just pay me less every week to do
Yeah.
more work because you can't pay me anymore. If you're paying me $30 million, you're paying me
Yeah.
$30 million, whether I work 16 weeks or 52 weeks.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm only getting $30 million. So I'd rather work
so
16
I
weeks.
would rather
too.
work less for more money, but yeah, whatever. But another thing that I don't really like is an extra person or an extra team going into the wild card. I do like the wild card because it keeps things wild. But it's just like, just imagine you're like the Patriots and you have like a near perfect season, and then you're going against the Miami Dolphins. They somehow got the wild card, and then you lose to the Miami Dolphins because of this random wild card. That wouldn't have happened if there wasn't an extra team that had to go in the wild card.
See, but I kind of like that idea.
And
like,
it's just like, and then you're stuck with like the '90s Broncos versus like the Dolphins. That there's just like fumbles and interceptions left and right. No one's going to watch the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna watch it if there's two shitty teams.
That's a good point, but I like that because it's more of like don't take any game for granted kind of thing.
Yeah,
because
that's
like
true,
it's
too.
like you'll be like, oh, this is a wash. We'll beat the Dolphins, and then if you get smoked by the Dolphins,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, this is so embarrassing. So I like it because like then during Wild Card Weekend there's an extra game both days. Because Wild Card Weekend, I'm always in front of my TV all day.
Yeah.
Football.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like one more game would just be more entertaining for me.
Yeah, it would just
like
eat up another few hours of my day. Risk your lives for my enjoyment. I like criticize you.
Well, I criticize your life choices.
Well, yeah,
Hair looking like ramen noodles. So bad Photoshop. I'm gonna assume maybe it has stuff to do with our Instagram conversation about editing photos a couple weeks back, and there's an account somewhere that's dedicated to showing bad Photoshop jobs.
No, but that would be awesome. There's an Instagram account. But you'll get you'll get a point for
creativity.
yeah. That's actually really good. No, before I get started into it, there is an Instagram account that's like influencers in the wild, where people are like watching and videoing like people doing stuff for the gram, and it's just like these random people getting these awkward situations, like taking photos.
Though, because they were like just about to show it on air, and they're like, maybe her like entire ass cheek was out, and they're like, there's no way that's gonna approve because like maybe she moved a certain way, or like they were doing something active.
They have that. Is it Naked in the Wild show on Discovery? They have the little censor blurry things over them, and
I feel like it would
naked though.
Like they. My thought would be if I were to do that, it would just be because you didn't want it to seem like her.
I mean, it's
goody fell out.
It's scripted anyways. I mean,
yeah. So it's
you
like
could just re-script it.
I feel like maybe they didn't
Hannah,
they were just like, ah, crap, we're about to go live. Yeah, they just like quickly scribbled it with the MS Paint.
It's just like, I'm sorry, Hannah, but your Arby's roast beef's hanging out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So we're gonna have to redo that whole scene.
Oh Lord, ew. Just the way you describe it.
But yeah. This is gonna be a two episode of Boop.
Can you guess it?
Can you, Matt? Okay. Out of all the continental U.S. states, how many of them are Apple, and how many of them are Droid? Like overall users.
How many people, or how many?
No, how many states have more iPhone users, and how many states have more Droid users?
I'm gonna go 75 Apple, 25 Android. %.
You're pretty close. 36 out of 50 states are Apple majority. So, and the states that aren't are Alaska, Arkansas, Hawaii, Kansas, Kentucky, Maine, Montana, and Wyoming, with Wyoming being 61% of the state having Droid over iPhone, and then Hawaii comes in at 61%.
You know, it's because nothing entertaining goes on in those states. So anywhere entertaining, you have like where entertainment is done. So by that I mean like TV shows, acting, all that kind of like adventurous stuff. Offices use Windows. People in arts and entertainment use Mac. It's just how it is. Whether it's better or not, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like whenever you do a show, you want to be able, like with your MacBook here, it looks better to see a MacBook Pro than a Lenovo ThinkPad.
I was gonna say HP.
But
do they still make Gateway?
Probably. like those are good to work on, but like as far as like design and everything, MacBooks look better, but like ThinkPads are better to use for like typing in school. But I hate to tell you, if you're an entertainer, you use a Mac. If you don't use a Mac, you're not an entertainer.
But it was interesting because they didn't give too much detail on why those states chose that. Besides, like the only correlation they found was less populated states are the ones that leaned more towards Droid than iOS.
It's probably because like Droids do work better for the custom things, but I can see it being like if they're less populated because then you're not like, well, all my friends have an Apple. Like it is weird if you're the only friend in your friend group that has an Android phone. It's weird.
It is.
Because then it's like you can't group FaceTime. Sorry, we're gonna have to all get Google Duo.
Sorry, we're going to have to Google Duo us or everyone, or we can Skype.
Or we'll all group FaceTime and we'll just text you.
You just need to make sure you're hanging out with someone with an iPhone.
That, I mean, yeah, it's hard to prove something like that because unless like you ask it, like the majority of people, then they'll tell
Yeah.
you. But most of it is just like, oh well, I started with this platform, and so I've just stuck with this platform. Because
Yeah.
like I've started when I first started getting smartphones, it was I started with an iPhone, and then I've just slowly just stayed with iPhone. Went over to Android for a little bit.
You
but
dabbled with the other ones. You had an iPhone. You had a
I had
Microsoft one.
Yeah, that was a joke. That was before I got my iPhone though. 'Cause I was like,
No, that was
iPhones
before.
are expensive.
Yeah, no.
And then I tried that Galaxy S9. S9 was nice. It was just it was too mechanical for me. I like something simple because
the
it's
simplicity?
like everything I do is on my Mac, on my Mac. So it's like
Once you get into
I
the
don't
ecosystem, you're kind of
like I don't need something that rather they're like, well, you could do everything on your Droid. Well, yeah, but that's why I have a Mac.
Yeah, but why? Yeah.
So it's like, the phones
Yeah.
are simple. The computers are where you can get more technical, which is how I like it. If I want to do something technical, I'll go to a laptop or a desktop. If I would keep it simple with my iPhone.
That works. But they also said that Droid is pretty close. I think they said Droid was number one being globally, just because iPhones are so expensive outside the U.S. Just like with the tax imports and everything on them.
And apparently Huawei's
coming up pretty good too.
Close.
Yeah,
We just don't trust them. I don't either.
I don't trust them either.
So.
I'll say it. I don't trust you, Huawei. Your phones are pretty cool, but
Well, I don't need the Chinese government looking at my nudes.
yeah, no one wants to look at them anyway. So I don't know why China wants to look.
I know.
No, but
I don't want to break their
and
internet.
it was just because like large parts of the world use Droid just because it's cheap. I mean, you can go to Walmart and buy a burner Droid phone for $250.
Not even, man. Like now
I was talking about like they have like the Cricket has them, but they're not the Galaxy line phones, but they're underneath Galaxy, like the K series.
Yeah,
the Samsung K.
They have like a letter. And
They have
two
the
numbers.
D. They have the D League of the Galaxy phones.
Yeah.
But they have those, and I mean, it's like you can go anywhere, and if it's pretty much non-smartphones are like extinct unless it's like your grandparents like Chitterbug. But even then, those are like some of them run on Android.
Yeah.
I would say flip phones are the only ones that aren't, but now recently, flip phones have also jumped into like the Droid game.
That's true. Well, it's just because it's cheap. It's cheap to run it, and they have all the apps you need. You don't have to set up all your own network or anything. You just jump on. The software's already there. You just build a cheap phone, put Droid on it, and since everybody already has Droid, you can just quickly buy another burner Droid phone and just download all the stuff you already had. You don't have to worry about going from platform to platform, which is the biggest headache.
That's what I thought was weird. I kind of figured Apple wouldn't be like the global phone right now.
It's just popular in the U.S.
It's just popular in the U.S. and China, and that's...
Yeah, because we're poor, but we're the poor, but we eat out all the time.
We're first world poor.
We're first world poor.
I'm rocking the XR instead of the Pro Max.
Yeah, I have an XR and a 2019 SUV. That's how poor I am.
Tough. I'm sorry, Matt.
People in India can't even get water, and I'm like, man, I hate being poor as I get in my brand new RAV4.
But I was watching this. Actually, I read this article the other day. How would you feel about virtually seeing someone after they pass?
Depends. Am I wearing an Oculus?
Yes, it would be like an Oculus. It wouldn't be like you're dead and then you see them because you're out.
Well, then that would be its own thing.
Then yes,
can they do that?
Based off all Christian religions, yes.
You just gotta die first and hope.
Yeah.
How would I feel if I could see somebody after they pass on an Oculus? Let's see. I think it would be very...
Well, do you think it's morally right, or are you against it? Because there's two schools of thought on that.
I'm not against it because, like anything, it's not... If it loved one, then that's fine. My biggest things are would it be like pre-recorded, like they only have a certain amount of sayings, or would it just be like I'd put on my Oculus and this person would be like sitting right next to me kind of thing? Because I can't imagine like you could have a conversation, or if you did, it would be like very generic. How was your day today? Yeah. I miss you too. The kinds that would go towards it. I know me personally, like not if I lost a child, I don't know what I'd do, but like if like everybody's parents pass away, I don't hopefully have to worry about that for a while because my parents are just hitting 50, so that I still have another 30, 40 years before I have to worry about that. I know if that were to happen with my parents, then I probably wouldn't use that kind of stuff just because it's like I'm the kind of person, even after like a breakup or something, I think about it, sad, yeah, this, that, the other, good memories, fond memories, but I couldn't. It's just not how I process things. But I could very well see stuff like that of like, yeah, it's nice to like not only be able to relive it in your mind, but be able to relive it with your eyes. Like, oh, this is like I can just picture a little, or like put on the Oculus and there's a little holographic memory right next to me and that kind of stuff. And that's just the way technology is going to start rolling. Of a like. Yeah, it's like that Black Mirror episode where they put that little thing on their head and then they like conk out. There's like getting the So it's like that where then you can put like your memory into a memory bank and then relive it whenever you want. To where that'll help certain people. It might help people that have PTSD from random things like domestic violence or war, and they can help relive that kind of stuff. So I mean, I'm all for funding the research for it.
Yeah, no, it was just a really heavy thing to. I was surprised they did this. I'm 100% with you on that. As long as you're not like capitalizing off of it, or.
Well, it's hard to not capitalize with the business.
Yeah, no, I mean, this service isn't free, but I meant like capitalizing like this celebrity.
You want to see your dead kid? $10,000.
Gimme. Stuff like that, or. Not too long ago, they were going to redo a movie with Steve McQueen. He died like in the 60s, like mid-60s or something like that. And they wanted to do a video with him, but they were going to use another actor that looked kind of like him and then just put his face over it.
They did that with Paul Walker.
Yeah, but that was like a few scenes. This would be like the whole movie would be like this. And it's just like, he's passed.
Yeah, it's like...
You don't have rights to my... You don't have rights to my being after I'm gone.
Well, it would be like with the whatchamacallit, the NBA, the Hall of Fame ceremony, if they just put Kobe Bryant's face on somebody else accepting the award. Like, you don't know what he would say.
Yeah.
That doesn't make... Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's just... But yeah, so that's just something... Let us know what you guys think about it.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to find out what all our listeners... think about stuff like that. Go ahead and follow us on our social media. That's Juicebox Talk Pod, Twitter, Instagram. My handle on Twitter is MattManSLC. Also, I make TikToks. I'm a TikToker now.
I don't. So don't follow me on TikTok.
You can't handle the TikTok.
I can't. But you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram under Juicebox Tony. All
right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Let us know also what you think of the video.
Yes. That's yes.
There we go with the yes again. All right. See you guys. Talk to you guys next week. Ass.